starting out the new year 2015. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful New Year's Eve, wonderful New Year's Day. And we're going to go ahead and kind of discuss on how you can get started the right way for the new year, since now is the best time to do it. My name is Mike Garcia. I'm the marketing manager here at iMatrix, and I will, of course, be your host today. And in today's webinar, we're going to go ahead and discuss how you can get it right by maximizing your online marketing efforts. Finding out new approaches to online marketing that involves less selling, more education, basically creating efficient strategies and focusing on customer service, which is really important to make an impact in your local market. Make sure you make 2015 the year that you get it right. Make sure it's the year that you start now as opposed to later. And in this webinar, we're going to go ahead and cover an effective marketing strategy that includes less selling, more educating, integration for your website as well as integration to your practice, collaboration, efficient processes, making sure you work smarter and not harder, customer service focus. Again, customer service is very important. It's one of those key components to a successful business. Referrals are based out of customer service. Returning customers are based out of customer service as well. Personality and humor. You want to make sure that you aren't robotic. You want to make sure that you aren't going to be someone that people don't feel comfortable with. Again, as anyone that deals with anybody's body, whether it's an optometrist or even if it's a chiropractor, or if you're dealing with someone's pet, like a veterinarian, they want to feel like they're comfortable being around you because that stuff's very personal to them, and it's kind of like you're entering into their personal bubble. So being able to kind of joke around as well as be professional, make sure that if you're going to have some kind of personality and have some kind of humor, you're not inappropriate. Obviously, stay professional in doing so. But again, we want to make sure that you keep that humor going because that's going to keep people coming back for you. And then again, storytelling for new business. So let's go ahead and talk about less selling and more educating. What you need to do is really stop selling your services in business and start marketing it by establishing yourself as the authority for your business. Dr. Oz, if everyone knows who Dr. Oz is, he's really well known because he educates his audience and has really kind of become an authority. He doesn't really try to sell anything. He just educates you. He kind of tells you, you know, this is what works, this is what we've seen works, this is kind of how you need to take care of yourself, that kind of thing. And it's not even really him selling anything. He might kind of promote a specific product in a sense, but he's not promoting anything to himself or of himself, you know, of a product that he has, you know, hey, buy this because I said so. You really want to kind of educate people on why they probably need to choose that or why they need to do this service or choose this technique over another technique so that it benefits them. If your website is properly optimized and it's driving traffic, convert those visitors into new clients by educating them on why they need your services. Writing blogs, you know, that are helpful, maybe sharing readable and useful information in that sense. Talk to them on their level, so that way that they know. Don't talk over their level. Don't make it too technical. You want to kind of give them the whys or the benefits of it, of why they need to take a specific service, or you know why they need something to help them out that you offer. Sharing that educational content on social media is always very helpful as well. A lot of people are on social media: Facebook, Google+, Twitter. All those websites are ones that are very important that you need to make sure that you're on. So that way, you know, you can share all this useful information because people are there and you want to make sure and get it out to them. Maybe writing FAQ pages will help address certain common questions, and it's also a great way to help your search engine optimization on your website. Just so you know, with a Hummingbird algorithm update, there's a lot more people asking for questions and phrases when they search for certain websites or they search for certain products online as opposed to typing in specific keywords. A lot of times these phrases and these questions that people search for are almost identical to a specific frequently asked question that you can put on your website. So if you had a page or maybe a couple pages, depending on the service or the technique that you have, you can go ahead and put frequently asked questions on those pages or have specific FAQ pages themselves, maybe up to 10 questions or so, or if it's on a page of content that has a certain service, maybe have 3 questions on there that are very frequently asked, and have answers right below that that go with those questions. When someone's looking at that specific page, they'll see, you know, the service or the technique or whatever that you offer, and then from there they'll actually see some of the questions that people ask, and along with that they'll see the answers. Now what that does is, because people are typing these questions in and because people are typing these phrases in, when they search for certain services or certain websites, Google will see that those are actually relevant on your website. They're relevant to that content page. It has additional content about that specific service, which those questions will relate to. And overall, it'll actually help benefit to get that page seen on the search engine results. So overall, if your website has different FAQs throughout the website, or even just a single page of FAQs, where if you have a page that has maybe 10 questions, and each question is related to a specific service, maybe have in the answer of that service or that question that you have, link to a specific page about that. Let's say it's car accident injury, right? And someone's asking, what do I do if I was in a car accident, or can I use insurance, for my chiropractor, or whatever it may be. In the answer that you provide after that question, go ahead and link to maybe the car accident injury page, or link to a specific page that will kind of give them a little bit more info. Don't make the answers very, very long. Make them semi-short. That way it kind of leaves them wanting to read more about it, and then that will kind of segue into that page that you link to that has all the information that they need. Again, this definitely helps out with your SEO, and it's something that you should really look into, is those FAQ pages. Another thing you want to do is draft clear explanations of what your services are and what benefits they offer. Don't get overly technical, like I mentioned. Remember who your audience is. You went to school for what you do, and you understand the technical aspect of it. You understand all the jargon that goes along with it. A lot of these customers and these clients and these patients, they don't understand any of that stuff. You need to make sure and kind of not necessarily dumb it down. You want to make sure that it's clear and it's concise, and that people understand it for someone that doesn't know all the technical verbiage that you do. So you want to make sure that you speak in their language and that you understand who your audience is. And then last is make sure your website's up to date with the current services that you have, the personnel, the hours, etc. You want to make sure that if you switch staff members, that you update your website accordingly. If you switch your hours, definitely update your website, update any directories that you have. People will be searching for you, and if it says that you're open and you're actually not, it's very much a deterrent, and they're going to probably go to a different website instantly. I know there's a lot of times where I actually go to websites and I notice that, it says that they're open. I call, they're obviously closed. I just instantly go to another website. I don't even bother sitting and waiting. Oh, well, they're open tomorrow. I'll just wait till tomorrow. No, I'm already done. I'm going to go to another website. So keep that in mind when you think about these things. Oh, backwards. Next page is on integration. So integration is important as well. This is something that you want to make sure that you integrate specific aspects of your marketing into your website as well as your services within these pieces. An effective marketing strategy is really highly integrated. It brings all aspects of your marketing together to form a complete picture of your business, as well as a complete picture of all your services together. So utilizing multimedia by including text, maybe including video, images on your website is very important. And linking your social media pages to your website and sharing the information from your website on your social media is really important as well. So don't look at online and offline marketing separately. Kind of look at them together. And while the messaging may be different for online and offline efforts, and what I mean by online and offline is obviously anything that's not on the web. So anything that you maybe have in your office, signage, any kind of desk signs or table signs that you have laying around. And of course, online is anything that's online on the web. Your website, social media, those kind of things. They should really be consistent in theme and consistent in value. So just to kind of give you an idea of iMatrix, okay, I'm just going to show you real quick. Our colors are this kind of like this teal. It's kind of like a sea blue, I guess you can kind of call it. My designers are probably going to go crazy because I'm sure I'm totally getting it wrong. But it's color blue, and we have this clean, crisp kind of theme to it, right? Well, obviously, as the marketing manager, I need to make sure that that's consistent. So a lot of things that we have kind of stick along with that theme. Everything that we do is really kind of similar in that aspect. Our collateral, signage, those kind of things are very similar, and they're consistent. The same thing goes for Apple. You look at Apple, and Apple's theme is very clean and crisp and consistent. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the list goes on. So do the same thing with your business, and you need to make sure that your business inside your office, inside your clinic, isn't completely different and doesn't just have a whole rainbow of colors. Make sure that you kind of keep with a specific theme, and it doesn't mean necessarily that, let's say your colors are like a gray and whatever it is. It doesn't mean that your whole office has to be just gray and kind of, I don't want to say dull, but just, not vibrant, make sure that you have whatever pieces and assets stick with that theme. And then, of course, you can have your office be whatever color you want. But it's the collateral, it's the offline marketing pieces. It's everything from your business card to logos, to brochures, to paperwork, anything that you give clients or patients. It's all consistent along with your online marketing. It's all consistent with that as well. So keep that in mind when you're doing all these things, because that's something that's going to definitely help benefit your marketing strategy, because, again, it creates a brand, and your brand is something that people remember, again, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Apple, those kind of things. It gets to the point where all you have to really do is show a logo, and people know exactly who you are, what you do, and that's really it. It creates an imprint. So next is collaboration. So collaboration is a great way to further build up your authority, reach new people, add value to your existing clients. You want to make sure and partner with companies that offer complementary services to yours. So, for instance, veterinarians can partner with dog grooming, companies that can partner with pet sitting services, those kind of things, and fully vet the services that you'll be partnering with before making them available to your clients. So when you bring in industry experts to offer valuable insights and information to your clients, just kind of an example, let's say a chiropractor can host a yoga class with an experienced yoga instructor that will focus on yoga moves to strengthen the core. You want to make sure that you are focusing on those experts for doing it, not just maybe someone that you know that, they go to yoga classes a couple times. Maybe you can come train, and do some yoga classes for my practice. You want to make sure you have the experts, okay? Whenever we have partners, whenever we have someone that, let's say, does a webinar for you guys, we don't just bring anyone in. We make sure and bring someone that's professional, someone that's qualified, and that's an expert in that area. Anytime that we do, let's say PPC or any kind of AdWords stuff here, I'll usually do the webinar. I'm Google certified, or we'll have someone else here that's Google certified. We don't just grab anyone here to talk about, and write them a script and talk about Google AdWords and PPC for your practice. We make sure it's someone that is qualified and certified with Google. That way they know exactly what they're talking about. And, of course, it makes it seem a little more tangible for you to be able to kind of understand exactly what they're talking about. And especially if you have questions, that's the best part, is when you have an industry expert, when they're done and they're done providing what they're doing, and then at the end, if you have any kind of questions, you'll feel confident that that person knows exactly what to say to this person. Because if you have someone, let's just say, for an example, take a yoga class, at your practice, again, as an example, and it's just someone that has taken a couple yoga classes here and there, right? They're not really a yogi. They're not really, a certified yoga instructor. And they start, the people start asking them questions, and they just kind of don't really know how to answer, or it just doesn't really come out right. That client is going to actually look at you, not the yoga instructor or the semi-yoga instructor. They're going to look at you and look at your business as, okay, well, now I just completely discredited everything else that you do because this doesn't seem right. Something seems fishy. They just kind of feel out of place. It just doesn't seem right. So make sure anything that you do, any kind of referrals or industry experts that you have are really industry experts when you bring them in. And make sure that you offer to do talks or provide free consultations or discounts to other companies. That would kind of help out as well. So let's just say, as an example, an optometrist can offer to speak to at a PTA meeting about recognizing vision issues in children, maybe provide a special offer to those PTA members to get exams, that kind of thing. I've seen chiropractors do the same thing. They'll go and they'll have, free spinal examinations, at certain events, those kind of things. Maybe high schools, for sports teams, for the sports teams, they'll do like free examinations. And it's a great way for you to get referrals. It's a great way for you to kind of get your name out there. And if it's something that just takes your time and it's not necessarily, costing you a lot of money, I know obviously time is money, but if you can do something like that, it'll actually help out because you'll be able to get your name out there, your brand out there. It's the perfect audience for it, obviously. And it's people that you'll be able to obviously increase your clientele with, because especially if it's sports related, or in this case, in this example, if it's PTA members that really are concerned about their children's vision, you already kind of got your foot in the door. So really anything that adds value to your services, makes life easier or better for your clients, adds value. And by adding value to your clients' lives, you're really building up a strong relationship. So next, of course, we're going to talk about the efficient processes, which is really important. So the adage, work smarter, not harder, like I mentioned, is definitely something that you should apply to your marketing strategy this year. Having a great strategy doesn't mean that you need to spend another 20 hours a week on marketing. So I know it takes a lot of time, but again, it's one of those things where you need to be efficient. You need to work harder, work smarter and not harder. Make sure you don't work harder. That's the whole point. So streamline your marketing efforts with a plan. Lay out a plan. Make sure you have something there. Create an easy-to-follow schedule and a clear strategy, and enlist some help to complete some of these tasks. You don't have to do it all on your own. Make sure that if you have any kind of questions or if you need some help, recruit some people around you and see if that's something that they can help you out with. Again, integration is really key for streamlining the process. So if your website and your social media work together to maybe educate potential clients, you can use them together and not double up your work. Make your client and potential client communications a lot easier to implement with digital solutions, maybe like a web platform that allows you to send emails, maybe one that schedules newsletters, writes blogs, maybe review your social media all in one spot. That definitely helps out as well, and that's something that you can look forward to help streamline the process as opposed to having multiple areas where you have to kind of spend a little bit more time digging through everything. And much of the content you create is really, current. I'm sure it's very wonderful. Maybe repurpose a blog by rewriting it into a new FAQ page. So sometimes we'll do that as well. As maybe we'll have a piece of content for a client that they've had on their website for a year, maybe 2 years, and they don't really know what else to write. I've got all my services on my page. I've got everything on here that I need. What else can I do to try to help add more value to my website in regards to content? Well, maybe take one of those pages of content and write a blog about it. A lot of times you can write a specific blog about a specific service or technique and kind of flip it into like a question, like what do I do if this? And then write like a short blog about it. Or maybe write a couple, like I mentioned, FAQ pages. That definitely helps out as well. So maybe take a popular social media post also and write a blog about that. Overall, you'll save time by not really having to constantly brainstorm new topics. Because that's a problem. Obviously, you all are in your business to do your practice, but you're not writers. You're not people that need to sit here and write a book every single time, and that's understandable. Neither am I. So, work smarter, not harder, and do so by kind of seeing what you can repurpose in what you already currently have. So it's easy to lose sight of your underlying reason you're in business, to help people when you have to worry about staffing, revenue, supplies, paying rent, keeping your accreditations, those kind of things. So customer service is very important through all this. And expanding your customer focus in easy ways by incorporating it into your digital marketing strategy is important as well. Start by maybe creating a user-friendly website that has a lot of helpful content. The first step in a potential client's experience with your business is just that. So make it easy for them and maybe learn about you and make it easy for them, to learn about you. That way, when they become a client, they kind of feel a little more comfortable with you. They understand who you are, what you do, some of your hobbies, along with your accreditations and those kind of things. Maybe create a user-friendly website that has helpful content. Again, this is the first potential step. The next potential step, of course, is the FAQ pages, the blogs, those kind of things. Engaging in social media. You don't want to just post on social media. You want to make sure and engage with people that are responding to you. So respond to comments. Maybe you reply to reviews. People that leave reviews on your website or on your social media page, make sure you respond and say thank you. Anyone that has concerns, make sure you respond to it in a professional, nice way, and that way that they can understand that you do care and that you want to keep them as a client or a customer. Make sure that you claim your review pages and actively respond to both positive and less than positive reviews. Your responses can potentially turn a negative review into an enthusiastic proponent of your services. So maybe also what you can do, on top of those responding of the reviews, is make sure you create how-to videos or explainer videos that really show how your services work so that potential clients know, what to expect. And then again, last but not least, make it as simple as possible to be a client of your business. So make sure your hours, your phone number, your address, they're all easy to find on the website, all on the digital channels, your social media, on your YouTube channel, everywhere that you have it, directories, that it's easy to find your name, your address, your phone number. And again, if any of that changes, make sure that you update it accordingly. So again, going into this personality and humor part, this is something that a lot of clients tend to have an issue with of ours, which is totally understandable. I personally, sometimes I like going to a practice that is funny and humorous. Sometimes if it's too humorous and it just doesn't seem professional, it is a turnoff. So there is a happy medium between. But as a professional, you want your clients to respect you and also feel comfortable. So keep in mind, along with that, you do also want to have them like you and trust you. So this means showing them that you have a personality and that you are human. That's very important. So many doctors really kind of think that they have to be technical, maybe strictly educational all the time. But again, it's okay to have a sense of humor and poke fun at things about your industry. And most clients will probably respond very positively about this. So, poke fun in a nice professional way, and just for an example, I'm going to get a little personal here. So just for an example, I had an issue with my eye, so I went to my ophthalmologist. And if anyone understands, I'm sure if there's any optometrists on here, that if you get a sty, it's not very sightly. It's very kind of, you look at someone's eye, you're like, oh, what's going on there? You got like a little growth going on. Well, there was a joke going around that, oh, there's a baby growing on Mike's eye. So I went to the doctor, to the ophthalmologist, and he went ahead and took care of it. They excised it, and I was laying on the table, and he was joking around about it, and I told him about that little joke that was going around, and I'm very comfortable with it. I let people joke around about it. I'm very good with it. And he made a joke when he was done. He looked at the clock. He's like, all right, time of birth is 12:15 p.m. and the boy, like, he was just joking around about it. And that's the kind of fun I'm talking about. Make it so that it's very comfortable for the person to be where they're at, because I was laying there and I'm getting anesthesia put in, and I'm just feeling uncomfortable. And if you're a client or if you're a customer or a patient, no matter who you are, okay, you're going to feel very uncomfortable being in a doctor's office. It's just plain and simple. I mean, it's cliche almost. I mean, you just feel like, oh my gosh, where am I? I just don't feel right. And so being able to kind of lower that anxiety of your patients and of your clients is very, very key. So make sure that you do that. You build a rapport. You joke around about it. When they come back from maybe checkups, just kind of be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Or, how's that golf swing? Or whatever it may be. Just to kind of make them feel a little more comfortable being there and being able to return there. And then in turn, they're going to go ahead and refer people to you as well. So keep in mind that that strong relationship that you build, it creates this, what we call a stickiness factor. So let's say a client moves 10 miles away from your practice. They might waver about whether they want to find a new practice that's a little bit closer to them, but they feel like they can trust you. They like your staff. They feel valued. They'll probably drive that extra 10 miles just for your service and just for the staff and for you. So this really kind of protects you from the competitor, as well as any kind of pricing promotions that might be, closer to them. There's a lot of times where people will drive the extra distance because they enjoy the rapport that they've built with you and the rapport that they've built with your staff. I have a dentist that, I probably live 20 miles away from. I will still go there because I love the staff. I love him as a dentist. And people normally don't like the dentist, So that was the first dentist that really made me feel comfortable going to, and I'm probably still going to keep going to him. So keep that in mind when you do that. Make sure you have some kind of personality and humor. And the same thing goes with social media. A lot of times people think, I don't want to have nothing but humorous social media all the time. That's what people like to be on social media for. I like to see memes, and I like to see funny pictures that relate to that business. Maybe from time to time I'll see an article about something that's impactful, but that's kind of why I take a little 5-minute break and I'm checking my social media feed. I want to kind of laugh a little bit and take myself out of the normal workday. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. Another thing is storytelling for new business. People love a good story. Advertising, marketing should always tell a story that engages the audience. Your online marketing strategy should probably do the same thing as well. So client testimonials are probably the #1 way to tell a story. The story is, what it's like to be a client here type of thing. By engaging your audience with a story, you're drawing them in and showing why your practice and services are a good fit for them. This builds up trust, and you understand their needs and offer the services to meet those needs as well. communicating the benefits is more important than the simple description of a service. And while they do need to know what it is, and maybe they need to know, maybe they want to know why they need it, kind of thing. This is something that people are just coming into contact with your business. They can learn a lot from the stories that you tell them, and just like you explain who you are and what types of things define you as an individual to someone that you meet maybe like at a party, you got to do the same thing for your business. You got to kind of treat it the same way. So you're in business to help your clients fill a need, and whether it's to ensure a pet owner has a healthy cat, or maybe to assist a person in losing a significant amount of weight, or if you want to help people see clearly with their vision, there is a need, and your services fill that need, and you need to maybe tell how you fill that need. So again, educate your clients, tell them how you can benefit their need instead of trying to oversell it to them and trying to push it, kind of shove it down so that they just take it. You want to kind of educate them on this is really kind of what you need and why you need it. And not only that, maybe even give them options. If there's multiple different ways, if someone goes in for a massage and there's 5 different types of massage, you might know that, okay, this is really the massage that's going to kind of help with your issue, but these other massages will help as well, and you might feel more comfortable with this one. But overall, you might want to try a couple of these. Just kind of give them some options in that sense. Now, it might not work for every single type of business, but you're educating them in the sense of this is what's going to help you, as opposed to you need this, this is all you have, take it or leave it. This is how much it costs. That just doesn't resonate with people. So fill their need, communicate why the benefits are there, build that trust. Client testimonials with videos are always helpful. If you have a page, take a video testimonial, pop it on that page, or if it's just a written testimonial, pop it on that page. And that'll definitely help out so that people can kind of see from other people's experience how it benefited them. I do it all the time. So I know a lot of times, people will look to see, what are the benefits of it? And they'll look on YouTube, or they'll look on a website, and they'll read about it, or they'll watch about it. And so in summary, I want to kind of just recap real quick, make sure you do the not what, but the how changes, okay? Don't make it a dictionary. Make it how it can benefit, or how they can benefit, from these things, and how they can help their needs. Your 2015 marketing plan, again, needs to change from that so that it's more educational and that it's something that people will be able to search for, because they'll have either FAQ pages on your website or ways that you can explain it to them in person, and it'll help answer their problems or answer their questions, as well as it'll make them feel a little more comfortable. Make sure you shift your focus from sell, sell, sell to educate, build rapport, and create relationships. That's very, very important. And by adding value to your client's life, you yourself and as a business will become valuable to them as well. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask away. We're going to go ahead and open it up for a Q&A section. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and give us a call. We definitely offer these services as a consultation to you and your business for any level of service that you have. Just give us a call, 1-800-IMATRIX. Mention that you saw this webinar. We'll go ahead and get you a great deal and help you out in that aspect. And if you just need to talk to someone about your business in general, give us a call, and we can go ahead and just kind of run you through a free consultation. It's absolutely free. We'll kind of give you a little marketing strategy session if you have some questions on where to get started, or maybe you're kind of halfway through the process and you don't really know where to go from there. Or maybe you've tried everything, you just don't know what else you can do. Definitely let us know. We've got industry experts here. Again, I wouldn't mention that if it wasn't true. Like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, don't offer experts if you don't have them. We do have Google certified experts here, as well as professional experts here that will help you out with whatever service you have, or will help you out with any questions that you may have as well. So thanks again for attending. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them in. I'll go ahead and leave it open here for a couple minutes. All right, so we got a couple questions here. So let's see. What would better optimize SEO? So I'm going to kind of give you a couple things that will optimize SEO. Not sure if that's a complete question, but I'll go ahead and answer a couple things that would better optimize your SEO. I guess out of everything, what better optimizes it? Okay, so it's still going through. So I'll go ahead and wait for you to finish putting that through. There's another question here about missing the part about giving a 50% discount to existing clients. Did you cover this? So you are talking about, there we go. So basically adding a value. We kind of did cover this. I didn't go over too much about giving giving offers to your clients. It's one of those things where, you know, if it's an existing client, there's a lot of times I've personally had clients about that will, you know, have new patient offers, right? So it's, let's say, you know, a certain amount off, and then there's offers for existing clients. Adding value for those existing clients, making it almost kind of like a loyalty program, if you want to think of it that way. If they're an existing client and they take part of, like, let's say, for instance, we were talking about yoga. If they take a yoga class and it's an existing client, maybe kind of give them a specific offer because, you know, you appreciate their business, that kind of thing. That builds rapport, but at the same time, if you want to do something for new patients, you can do that as well. So it really depends on how you tie it in. If you want to kind of do something in that aspect, where, you know, you want to just kind of put them all into one overall thing for new and existing clients, that works as well. But do something to where you can show appreciation for your current clients, because that's going to be something that wants people to come back. It makes people feel like they can come back, as opposed to just feeling like, oh, well, I'm not a new client anymore. I'm going to give a perfect example, and hope no one here works for Macy's. I love Macy's, but that's a prime example. So I have a Macy's card. And if anyone knows, for anyone that's shopped at Macy's, you get an additional 20% off of your purchase if you sign up for a Macy's card. Fantastic. But I already have a Macy's card. I already used that 20%. So what do I get? You don't get anything. So I don't really feel very compelled, because I know every single time I go to buy something at Macy's, I don't always use my card, but they always mention, oh, would you like to get an extra 20%? Oh, great. Of course, without asking if I have a Macy's card or if I need to sign up. And then, of course, they, you know, start ringing it up. All right, and then they'll hand me the little brochure for a Macy's card. Oh, I already have a Macy's card. Do I still get that 20%? Oh, no, it's only for new customers or new, you know, card holders or whatever you want to call it, new applicants. Okay, well, that doesn't really feel good, because now, one, I was told I get 20% off, so I'm excited. I'm really glad that I get the 20% off. And then two, now I'm being told I don't get the 20% off because, sorry, you're already paying us money as a client or as a customer. We don't want to give you an additional 20%. Now, they do have sales from time to time called Friends and Family, which I don't think you even have to have a card. I think that's just for everyone still. But again, it's one of those things where if you're going to offer something, keep this in mind when you do offers. If you're going to do something that says existing clients, or if you're going to do something that says for new clients, make sure you specify in the beginning that it's only for new clients, that they understand that. Because just the fact of, like I use it as an example, when I go to Macy's, that now I know, obviously, when they ask for 20%, I know what it is, and I just say no thank you. But with the first time it happened, because they didn't mention, oh, you have to sign up and it's only for new people, new customers, that whole time, and I'm waiting, it was probably a good 3 or 5 minutes, which seemed like forever. I'm sitting here thinking, awesome, I get a deal on this that I'm buying, you know, and then they took it away. So it's like I had it for that whole 5 minutes, which felt like an eternity, and then they just took it right out of my hands. That felt like I almost felt like I didn't even want to buy the thing, because, you know, it's one of those things where you need to kind of be upfront with it. And I felt very undervalued as an existing customer that's been with them for so long, that uses my Macy's card and paid all the time, and, you know, I just didn't feel very valued. So you want to add that value to those existing clients in that aspect. Make sure that they feel like they are wanted back again and again and again, and that you want referrals from them again and again. Hopefully that answers. I know I kind of tossed a little personal experience, but I know exactly where that comes from and how people feel about that. Let's see. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Question: what would better optimize SEO? Listing all services on one page with services anchored, text anchor, throughout the page, or create separate subpages for each specific service? We're an animal hospital with many services. Perfect question. Okay. I do not recommend putting it on a single page. Although anchor text is good, okay, it's not good for having all the services on there. Now, let me kind of give you an example. I'm going to take you on a journey. Hopefully. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see this. Go to imatrix.com. Now, this is a good example. I don't want to say good example because I'm being a little biased on it, but this is kind of what you probably want to do. Now, as you can see, we have multiple different levels of services, from starter to dominator. I'm sure you guys have any one of these. Now, what you can do is have the main page, which is probably going to be, you know, let's say like services page. Okay, I mean, perfect, right here, online marketing services. And as you can see, we have starter, social, media, velocity, dominator. Now, anchor text, if anyone doesn't know what it is if you have a link, let's say I had PPC advertising, and I had it linked, and I click on it, and it drops down to the PPC portion, okay? And it drops down here, all right? And that's basically, I'll give you another example. That's basically what it does, okay? But it keeps you on the same page. Now, that's good. I do definitely recommend that. Like, let's say if you have, I'll just use this as an example. If I did have this page with anchor text, I'd probably have anchor text on each one of these categories, because each one of these categories are essentially each one of our service tiers, okay? Social, we have media, velocity, dominator, that kind of thing. And then I would have it linked going directly down here, and then I would have little snippets of what it is, and then in like a, kind of like a learn more. And what the learn more is you click on it, and it goes to a full page about that specific service. So I definitely recommend doing something like that, as opposed to doing one full page. Because think of it this way. When you're doing SEO, when you have someone searching for you, you have the capability of having all of these pages optimized. Let's say someone is searching for advanced SEO for their business, right? And they search for something like that. Well, it's going to pull up this page because it's got all the content related to that specific service. Let's say they want to talk about social media management for their business. Okay, it's going to pull up this page, right? Now, that's already two pages that it's pulling up, along with the capability of pulling up this page because it still has a snippet about social media and other things, you know, advanced SEO, that kind of stuff. So you really kind of don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You want to maximize how many pages can be pulled up, because when someone searches for you on a search result page, it pulls up one page. Like, it wouldn't just pull up imatrix.com. It might pull up imatrix.com. It might pull up imatrix.com/marketing services. It might pull up imatrix.com/ you know, social or whatever it may be. You'll actually be able to maximize and dominate the search engine results page by having 3 or 4 different pages to take up all that real estate. Keep in mind, in the search results page, there's at least 10 results on that page. Why not try to dominate and have at least 3 or 4 of those 10 pages while all your competitors are stuck kind of getting pushed at the bottom? Even if you aren't the top 3 results, even if you're not the top result, if someone sees, let's say let's say they pull up a certain service, or they search for something, they see your competitor at number 1, maybe another competitor at number 2, but they see you at number 3, number 4, maybe number 6, 7, 8, you know, like they just see you everywhere. That's almost kind of telling me, okay, well, they actually handle all this stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on them, even though they're not number 1. There's really ways to kind of look at it in that aspect, as opposed to just saying, I'm not number 1, shucks. Or I'm not number 2, I'm not at the top 3, shucks. But if you're dominating that page overall, that's better, because, again, SEO takes a lot of time. It's something that isn't quick. It's something that takes a lot of time to kind of marinate, and the more and more pages you have that relate to those specific services is probably going to be best. So if you're doing it that way with a page that has everything on there, again, think of it in this aspect. Don't have a page that has a ton of content. People are not going to want to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. They want to have snippets, edible chunks. Think of it that way, edible chunks. And then from there, what they're going to do is they want to learn more. They can go ahead and click on it. Not only does that increase the links between your pages, again, overall, it kind of creates this wonderful tree of SEO. Think of it like a tree, and there's multiple branches, and each branch has its own little branch that goes out again. It's not a single stalk. It's not like a bamboo stalk kind of thing, you know. So maybe do it in that aspect, and think of it, again, if you're doing FAQ pages, like I was mentioning, maybe have a full page. And let's say you don't have something like this. Obviously, we have to have this because this is basically what comes with the package. But let's say instead of this, you had call us, and maybe a link to, an appointment reminder. They can click on it and it pops up an appointment reminder. And then below that, maybe you had a couple questions. If we were to have questions about websites, what website is best for my practice? Maybe we'll have some FAQs here. Okay, so think of it like that, maybe 3 or 4. Or you can have a full page, which we don't have on here, but a full page of just FAQ questions. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. It's really kind of simple. It might be a little bit more work, but it's definitely going to help you, and it's going to make your website look a little more robust as opposed to just having 4 tabs. The only way that works is, if you don't really offer that much and you're kind of building your business up. So, okay. Awesome question, by the way. That's a really excellent question. It doesn't hurt, but make sure you do have certain subpages for each service because people are going to want to understand and know that. And if you don't have enough content about that specific service, it's not going to be pulled up properly on Google or other search engines because you need to have enough substance on there. You can't pull up a website with just a little snippet like that. It's just not going to pull up. That's not enough content. There's a certain thing called keyword density that you have to have a specific amount of keywords. Although keywords aren't a huge part of what Google pulls, keep in mind keywords are not being considered in the Google algorithm. Don't let that scare you. It is still considered in Bing and in Yahoo. What they mean by that is that it's still important to have it in the content because the overall content has to relate to what someone is searching for. So you still have to have those keywords in there, just not keyword stuffing it in that sense. Okay, so hopefully that answers that. So any other questions? If not, again, we're going to have this. This is recorded, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to give us a call. Where are we? Right here, 1-800-iMatrix. Again, this will be recorded. It will be sent out to anyone that did register. If you came in late, don't worry. We will send it out to you because you did register and you have attended. So you'll get an email with this. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 1-800-iMatrix. We will give you a personalized strategy. If you have any questions about a certain service that you have and how you can make it better, how you can maybe do better with that service, definitely let us know. We'll help you out, and we do have Google certified staff here that can help you out in that aspect. Cool. Well, thank you so much for attending this morning's webinar. Hopefully we'll see you again next time, and again, let us know if we can help you out. Have a good day.